Uh, well, I'm not by the microphone right now. So if you're doing a sound check,
Uh-oh. Well, okay then. You definitely need to do that first then. Yes.
okay. Well, I'm about where I'll be sitting.
Have I guessed? Damn it.
Did you know that Hitler was actually my best friend? I aspire to be like him.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really good. Because I actually aspire to be like Lady Bathory. So, we're two peas in a pod, aren't
Bathtub? You
we?
want to be like a bathtub?
Bathory? No, she was
Can
the
you do that?
countess. No, she was the one that killed all those virgins and bathed in their blood.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Maybe that's where we get bath from.
I don't know. Maybe Lady Bathory. Maybe Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah, where does? Well, wait. When is she from?
She was born in 1560. She was
Oh,
a
okay.
Hungarian noblewoman and serial killer.
You mean serial bather?
No, she'd kill them. Oh, it was gross. It was up to 650 alleged victims.
That's all?
Yeah, yeah. That's all. That's a lot of virgins.
Actually, I did want to say, um, you probably don't want to say that stuff about black people.
What stuff?
Like, like before you started recording, don't say that stuff about black people.
What
I, for
stuff?
one, like them. I like black people. I like all people, except assholes. So you can't say that stuff, all right?
What did I say exactly?
You know what you said. I, for one, am not going to read.
No, you don't want to re-say what I said? It was just
No.
that appalling.
Yeah.
I could see it. I mean, I'm a pretty, you know, racist, appalling person, so I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
I don't. It's just some. I don't know. Just the way that came across. Oh,
I know.
hello.
But sorry,
I,
not sorry?
oh, you're cut. Yeah. You're
What?
fucking up the bit. You're fucking up the bit.
Oh,
You're fucking up the bit.
sorry.
I was trying to say, oh, I didn't see you there. I didn't see you come in. Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended.
Well, I'm not putting in all that beginning part.
You fucking bet you are. You are. We're getting a divorce.
What? So you can make it seem like I'm some racist and I'm not.
The world needs to know, Kim.
What does the world need to know?
Well, I'm not going to repeat what you said. I'm not a bad person.
Was I sleeping when I said this bad thing?
No, we're just talking to me before you started recording.
Okay. Um, I don't even remember anything anymore. I remember talking about Lady Bathory. See, you got me so flustered. I'm like, what the fuck was I even saying before? But I know it had absolutely nothing to do with black people. I remember saying that I really want a guest on the show. And then all of a sudden you went and did that to me. Piece of horrible. You're literally the one that was just talking about how Hitler's your hero.
I didn't say that.
You did too.
No, I would never say something like that.
You did. It's recorded, so you can't even go back on that.
It's a bit. It's a bit, okay? Everything that I say that's rude and hurtful, unless I'm serious, which obviously I'm not serious, everything else is a bit. Okay? It's all just a bit. My whole life is just a bit.
What are you talking about? I totally want to be like Lady Bathory. I'm just kidding. So gross. That was so messed up.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so now that you're here, hello.
Hi. This is really awkward.
Yeah, it is. I'm still naked. I don't even have pants on.
Ooh, okay, okay. All right, little children, close your ears. So tell me, how are you lying there? Is it cold?
Spitting
Is
like
it
a human
warm?
being.
Oh.
No, it's cold here.
Oh. It's not really
For
helping
anyone,
with my imagery.
yeah, it causes a lot of shrinkage.
It's okay, little turtle. You can come out of the hole now.
I was in the pool. So, hello.
Hi.
I don't know I did this already, but
You did. But
thank you for joining us in I'm eating cheese.
And
You're offended. You're offended.
Yep.
It's
He's eating
very
cheese.
old age cheddar.
Oh yeah? Very old age? Is that what it's called? It's not just old cheddar, it's very old age cheddar?
Extra old.
Oh, extra. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think
extra
I've ever
old.
seen that, so that's pretty cool.
It's like a super shitty version of like I don't know, I guess it's like Parmesan kind of maybe. But yeah. Oh, the fuck?
I'm assuming it's if I pop in here because it's Sea of Thieves room, not the.
Oh.
Hi!
Here, hold on. I actually totally forgot which.
Oh, did I interrupt? My bad.
You did no. Want to join us? I was literally just saying that I wanted a guest on the show. I think we're talking like, just like news and shit. So, I mean, it's not like you need to know anything. You can just hear what he's got to say and have an opinion if you want one.
Well, you know me, I'm opinionated, but that was an evil trick you played right there.
We totally didn't. I totally forgot we were in this room and I was doing a sound check. And then all of a sudden he just like went right into it and started talking. I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah, like sound check. If you're in the green room, I wouldn't even have bothered. I would have. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, the beginning of this,
right?
the beginning of this podcast makes me sound like a racist. So if it makes you feel any better. Well, he tricked me too.
I like Formula One, so I'm racist too. So
no, literally.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, am I pausing?
Okay, there. So for anyone that doesn't know, we actually use Discord because it's free. I don't have to look at anyone, so that's nice.
And anybody can jump in at any time, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. So I will ask you this: like, would you like to hang out and have a little chat with us, or are you like on the spot now and you're like, get me the fuck out of here?
Yes.
Which one?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Well, yeah. Well, I came in to say hi, happy Thanksgiving, and I pounced because you weren't in the group. And well,
happy
because I know that's what you're doing when you're in there. So.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna. Do you know who Dean Blundell is?
I do not.
Me neither. Turns out this guy's like a real like edgelord, like one of those kind of people. Like, if you don't know this, then you're just fucking dumb. You're fucking stupid. Look at this fucking idiot. He's like one of those type of. Ow, fuck.
Oh my god.
Paper towel roll just hit me in the head.
That was some weird karma.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe Dean Blundell is. I don't know.
He just made a video about you and was like, "Look at this guy." Ow.
Maybe he just died and he was just haunting you there. He heard his name and he was like, "Fuck you,
no,
smack."
I don't know who he is now.
No, me neither. But we were looking up a story, and like I said, seems like he's kind of one of those kind of. I'm smarter than you, therefore, or I act smarter than you, therefore you're dumb. Kind of one of those. You know what I mean?
Everybody's smarter than everybody else when it comes to one or two things. You know what I mean?
I don't know. No, but he just comes off so. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's me. Do you want me on your podcast tonight? I got a beer or two in me in advance.
Listen, I always want you on our podcast. I really do.
Salute! Cheers! I don't want to hit my microphone, but.
I'm drinking some of my favorite Tito's vodka made in Texas and supports dogs. For the dog lovers, vodka Tito's. I'm not being sponsored by them at all. but I'm just
I
going
was
to
gonna
willingly
say, it
sponsor
sounded
them.
like you just got paid right there.
No, I didn't. I just absolutely love Tito's vodka. It's the only vodka I actually really like. So if you don't like that
Hey.
strong tasting vodka taste that tastes
Hey.
like rubbing alcohol, try Tito's. I could drink this
Hey.
shit straight.
No.
Yo, what?
No. No. No.
What is this no
No.
business?
We don't give free shit to no one.
Hey.
You want
Tito's
name
gave me free shit at Christmas time. So you know what? I'll give them a 1. I'll give them a 1 for giving me some really cool magnets at Christmas time and a really
Didn't you
nice
have to ask
bandana.
for those?
What?
Didn't you have to ask for those?
No, I just signed up as their newsletter on their website as one of their people, just, hey, I like your shit. And I ended up getting a little something at Christmas time. I didn't ask for those.
There's a like a rectal disease, or is it like a? I don't think it's a disease. No, I think it is a disease where you take someone's healthy shit and you shove it up your ass.
That's not a disease; it's a treatment.
I think it's like a treatment for something. I can't remember what it's a treatment for.
But you're right.
Constipation, hemorrhoids.
No, they do that. They do that.
You said
They
doo-doo.
inject do.
Oh my God, we're 5.
They inject your doo into other people's sick butts to make them healthier, and it's all about bacteria and for lack of I don't know if I'm saying the right word, pharmacology, like it has to do with the bacteria, the live stuff that's inside a healthy person's poop, apparently. And if you're having intestinal problems and stuff, they will stick some good poop in your bad poop and make you better.
Hold the fork on here. When you guys were talking about shoving stuff up your butt, I thought you were talking about like things for like actual medication. People literally stick other people's poop up their butt as a medical thing.
Yeah. In a hospital, in fact, you don't. This isn't a home treatment. This is an actual thing they do in like hospitals and
L'Chaim.
Yeah.
Oh, that is nasty.
I don't. It hurts my brain a little bit too.
Would not want to know. I'm just going to say if I ever end up in a hospital and they need to put somebody else's healthy poop in my butthole for my butt poop to mix with, please don't tell me. I don't want to know. That's just gross.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how it be. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
True story. I don't know what I don't know what the medical term is, but that's an actual thing. That's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's kind of fucked up.
I'm not going to start Googling her right now because I don't want to ruin my whole night. That'd be kind of shitty.
But
sorry, my head. But yes, that they do that. They actually do.
Yeah, it's 100% a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since Mo's here, Mo is our guest today.
Our surprise impromptu didn't want to be our guest.
Yeah.
I love you, and I'm sending you inappropriate hug.
It's okay. What? I like inappropriate hugs.
You heard.
Especially the digital kind. Oh, my pixels are scintillating right now. No.
Okay.
Seriously though.
Well, I guess I don't know. Let's get into this. So I guess actually before we get into the first article that we have here, you can check us out on Rumble, on YouTube. I'm really trying to push Rumble because YouTube fucking sucks. Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Instagram, shitty Facebook. Which I already got 2 strikes on Facebook, so just waiting on my next one to get banned from there. We have a Discord group. If anyone wants to join, we play games and we talk shit. So yeah, let's like, subscribe, share it,
comment, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah,
we don't give a fuck. Just give us a thumb.
After that whoop whoop, what did you get banned for? Who's banning you? What?
I got 2 strikes from Facebook. One was
Are we doing the fact checker ones? Is that what you mean? Where posts get banned? Checker?
I don't know. I took a screenshot of it, but I'm not sure if I deleted the screenshot now.
Like banned? You got suspensions, or like somebody fact checked your post? Like,
well, there was one that was fact checked and saying that it was missing context or something.
The other one was actually removed. They said that they were taking it off. Yeah. So they actually pulled his post.
oh. Why?
Naughty.
I might have missed it.
I can't remember which post it was.
Well, it must not have been very important then, right? You know?
No, it was just all my stupid shit. But, my typical anti-government and, it's funny. I hear people saying stuff like, the do your own research. Or it's like the tombstone and says, like, I did my own research. It's like...
The one that got banned was Pfizer whistleblower leaks execs' emails.
For that.
Huh?
Oh, that one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that got banned. Or pulled.
Yeah. So it got
Pfizer whistleblower.
Yeah, because
whistleblower. There should be whistleblowers in Pfizer,
Oh, there's tons.
To go back to the the vaccine little thing you guys talked about earlier, Pfizer since the 2000s have been under multiple infractions and charged and had paid out, and in fact Pfizer I think has the biggest pharmaceutical payout ever.
Yeah, the largest lawsuit. Yeah, the largest lawsuit. Yeah.
So these are the people that you're trusting to put chemicals into your body, or recently baby fetuses. I'm hearing.
Yeah, that was the thing that was pulled. Yeah.
Either way, the fact is this company is complicit in false advertising for their own pharmaceuticals. They've pushed them on doctors and paid kickbacks. They've paid out billions and billions of dollars, like more than anybody ever, to cover their tracks. And these are the guys right now that are giving you the vaccine and are immune to any prosecution at this time because they did that before they allowed this vaccine to come out. Like, WTF? Are you sure you trust that process? Do you trust that process? I don't trust that process.
Yeah, when you take away accountability, it becomes a real big problem. Like
when the fraud bankster guy goes, "Hey, give me $1,000. Trust me."
Yeah.
Do you? Do you?
No.
Yeah. There's literally laws and regulation in the financial industry. Like with your risk. So if you go to an investor and they say like, "Hey, like, what's your risk tolerance? Are you low, medium, or high?"
Yeah.
And so if you say, "Oh, like I'm high risk," they're supposed to actually gauge your understanding of stocks. But if you say I'm low risk, okay, they can give you some information. Like they'll say, well, we can look at these types of portfolios, and I think these would be really good for someone that doesn't want to take a lot of risk. That's great. They're only supposed to invest in stocks that suit you. Otherwise, they can be held liable for reckless something. I can't remember what the charge is called. But when you actually do something to deceive someone else, especially in
regulated industry. I don't know what the regulations are, so I'm not even going to speak to that. But they should be looking after their customers' interests. That's a fact.
Well, they get paid regardless if they make money or not. Like they still get their commission. So if you lose money in the stock market, well, they still take their cut. If you win, they take their 10%. If you lose, well, you have to pay a fee.
The stock market in general, right? All of that is speculation. So when you're investing, there is an implied risk.
Yeah,
you could lose money, not make money.
There's always that potential, and that's inherent risk. There's an inherent risk in everything you do. But so the example I always use was like if you were a baby and someone said, "Hey, just go run across the street," and you didn't know better, well, you'd go run across the street.
100% I would.
You're a baby, and all that's on your mind is titties. That's on your mind.
But
does that really change as you get older? I feel like that's still on everybody's mind.
Yes, I know it never changes. Right? You can always count on the titties.
How does that phrase go? Men spend 9 months trying to get out of pussy, and they spend the rest of their life trying to get back in it.
Get back in. That is a fact.
Oh my god, I love that. That is hilarious. I love it.
That's a fact. 9 months getting out, the rest of the life trying to get back in.
Yes.
We're qualifying just the men here, though, right? Not whatever they identify as.
Yeah.
No.
Shots fired. Sorry.
But no, there's but with a child, like you don't understand the risk that you're putting yourself in, so someone else would have to step in and say, hey, no, you can't do that. That's extremely dangerous. So that is why like having an investor is good. And yeah, there's just inherent risk in everything. So you mitigate that risk by educating yourself. I think education, I wouldn't say like school, like traditional education. I don't know. I think schools are shit. I think they're really shit.
All schools, they get you, generally speaking, up to speed to be a productive member of society.
I think just so.
But everybody isn't a general student or a general,
it's just your cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's exactly it's a cookie cutter institution, 100%.
I think to be clear,
I need them to fit in this box. Let's go.
I don't think any of the teachers are doing anything wrong. I think the teachers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're teaching our kids, and they're busting their balls doing so. However, I think the curriculum,
not getting paid enough to do it too. Yeah.
The curriculum, whoever decides that needs some major work, and I find it rather scary what it is that they are teaching our kids. That really scares me.
You mean the education system being a little on the woke side?
Oh, beyond.
Is that what I'm?
But yes, I mean, you're literally telling kids at a young age all this kind of stuff about,
6 years old, mommy, what's transgendered?
Non-binary, non this, non that, or whatever.
What? No,
you are confusing children. Like kids already, as they're growing up with their hormones and stuff,
market because
they're already trying to figure out what they are and who they are. And now you're putting all these other, not even ideas, but all these other things in their head. You're confusing the fuck out of these poor kids.
They don't even know yet.
No, they don't. Like they don't even know what they are yet. And you're literally jamming all these things down their throat, and it's
their formative years is the worst part of the issue. That's where the biggest impressions are made, which is why they target that demographic that way, is because if you can learn them young, you change a generation.
Well, and even how they discuss with children about our land and where it came from and how we are today, and how they're teaching kids to, okay, well, you're white, you're the bad guy, like that's not okay to be teaching kids this. You should be teaching kids of all backgrounds to be one, to be together, to be working together, to be one community. And all as you're doing now is, as children, you're starting to separate everybody again. You're making the white kids or Caucasians, whatever, feel bad about their backgrounds and who they are, and they're not allowed to be proud to be Ukrainian or Polish or Greek or Italian. Because guess what? You can't just label someone as white. There's tons of Caucasians out there that are of very many different descents.
Well, that's the same as it's the same box as calling somebody black, though, right?
Exactly.
There's all kinds of shades and all kinds of countries and demographics and from all over. It's a generic one box term for a group of people, and you're right. It's most people, actually, no people fit into one box. They fit into multiple boxes across multiple spectrums, depending on all of those things. But none of them are more or less important than anybody else. We all have white bones. If you cut us, we all bleed red. And if you kill them, they're gonna die. If you raise them up, they're gonna soar. It doesn't matter race, religion, color. All of that stuff is just to keep you inside your little box.
Aesthetics. So that's it.
So, what were some of the most popular shows growing up?
Well,
What you talking about, Willis?
I just went back to Sesame Street just because it was the one children's show that literally started the whole diversity of human experience as a thing, and literally included music and drama and white people and black people and Hispanic people and yada yada for everybody to learn at a young age. Grew up on that shit. Gotta say, did it affect me? Possibly.
What shows did you watch?
Well, I grew up. I don't know about you guys, but living in Canada, CBC was a thing back in the day. And Sunday nights, like after dinner, we would all group up and get together and watch whatever happened before Disney, which was sometimes the Fraggles, sometimes the
Fraggle Rock
show, sometimes there's a whole bunch of shows, and then the Sunday movie magic of Disney. So I grew up on like the Muppets and Disney and
I'd watch stuff like that. Gem, My Little Pony, Flintstones, Jetsons, Thundercats. Yes. Road to Avonlea. That was a Canadian show. Your Disney shows.
That kind of affects
Plus,
you, like, subtly, right?
The weird thing is, I grew up watching with my parents, which is probably what brings me to my, I guess, interest in criminology and stuff like that today, is unsolved mysteries, Cops, Twilight Zone. Those were our family shows. Unsolved Mysteries and Cops.
My mom, that's like CSI. It's her favorite jam right there. Or any iteration, any cop show, any murder mystery, any. Oh yeah.
Family Matters. Ooh, what Boy Meets? Or not Boy Meets World. What the heck is that one called? Shit. It had also another. His brother in it. God.
So we've tangented here for 20 minutes. What was the whole point? What were we doing? Where are we going?
What I was originally going to, well, the question I was asking was, like, the reason why I was asking it, because the shows I watched was Urkel, which was predominantly black, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was predominantly black. Like, that was
Cosby Show.
One of the biggest shows. Yeah.
The Cosby Show, right?
Like, what was it? Family Matters was Archie Bunker. I can't remember the name of the show, but I think it's called Family Matters with Archie Bunker and.
That was with Urkel.
Was that Family?
Yeah, that was Family Matters. Was Urkel.
Yeah, but Archie Bunker is totally. It's the Archie Bunker show, isn't it? Like,
what is it? The hell is it called?
All in the Family.
It was just Archie Bunker. Wait.
I gotta Google that. I gotta Google it.
All in the Family?
Yeah. And
is that what the show was called?
Maybe one of these days, Alice.
What happens when you come to a podcast unprepared? I have no idea.
Company.
I gotta Google it live.
No, but I was just like, what was the central theme with Archie Bunker? That he was he was pretty racist. He was a bit of a misogynist. And he was kind of used as like almost like the
old school white guy, king of the hill.
These days, Alice. Power in the kisser.
Yeah, like he was. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so he obviously he loved his family very much. He was a working man, but then he would say things like, what was that? I can't remember the black actor. You're a cold, hard-working man, Archie Bunker. Whatever the hell, the hell was his name? I don't know. I can't fucking. It was a long time ago, but those are like the types of shows that I watched. Like I said, I watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watch it every single day.
Literally just finished watching that whole series again with the kids. I loved it.
But that's the thing. Like, no one ever said.
Why is that a bad thing, though? Where are we going with the Fresh Prince thing? Like, I liked it too. Where are we going with this?
The fact that people are trying to segregate us again?
Yeah, that's why I was bringing that up. Yeah, because of the segregation. Like, we were taught to, those were some of the most influential shows of our generation. I know you're a little bit older, Mo, but
hey.
No, you got about 20 years on me. So
shots fired.
That's a little bit.
But so like that was the type of stuff that I
We
watched.
continue on then. You can address me as sir.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, but so that's how we grew up. That's actually how you got it. Maybe it was through the lens of like Warner Brothers or whatever. But
True story.
We experienced different cultures through the television. Like, hey, they're just like me. Like, obviously, like in Fresh Prince. Okay, well, they're from he came from a poor neighborhood, and he's holy crap. Look at where I am. This and these are hardworking people. They're lawyers. They have a butler, and he's almost like Jeffrey was more like almost like a parent or like a family figure, as opposed to just he's the butler. Like, yes, he had a job, but he was also part of the family.
You were looking for a nanny, like he was looking after the kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was more than just a butler.
Yeah. He was like a caretaker, and I would say like he was more like a family member.
Yeah.
I remember the one episode where he left, and they all just, oh my god, we can't do anything. Jeffrey did all this stuff. Look how much we actually need him. And then when he came back, everything was all hunky dory. But
wait, was that a little bit of black privilege right there?
Could have been.
Can I say that? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Who knows?
It is. I could see the twist where it's, well, look, these are just the token black people. They act like their skin color's black, but they're not actually black.
Or a white thing. It's just
It was a Carlton joke, where he was. Yeah. They would always call him. What the hell did they call him?
An Oreo?
Coconut or something. Black on the outside, white on the inside. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like that's how actually I learned about different places. Yeah, like I said, it was through like Warner Brothers' eyes, but I honestly never looked at those and said, those people are different than me. I didn't think that in the slightest. It was never.
And then you were raised right too, because I don't judge people on the color of their skin or their religion either. I like them individually or dislike them individually, and it has nothing to do with how they look or what your religion is or where you came from.
Yeah, right. I tend to give a lot of people like a benefit of the doubt, and most of the time, I assume people are coming from either like they're being genuine, and that's kind of where I think even when I get into discussions with people that they just have no interest in actually discussing something, they just want to, I'm just gonna leave this here for you to look at, and then I'm gonna leave. Kind of like that. So I don't know. I tend to give people a lot of that I assume that there's an attempt at some type of discourse or maybe a challenging of ideas, but
yeah, you said it right there, discourse, like willing to, like I have my own opinions. They're just mine. Mm-hmm. Right or wrong, they're mine. Yours are just yours, and right or wrong, they're yours. But it doesn't make mine or yours less or more right than each other's opinion.
Well, ding, ding, ding.
I think if it was, if you said, well, I think red's a shitty color. Well, I said, well, no, actually, I really like the color red, and we can actually have a discussion.
Like red, yeah,
like we can actually have a discussion. You know what? Yeah, I still don't really like red, but I can understand why people like it. And then that's typically like the worst case scenario of a genuine discourse. A genuine discussion.
Because red is my favorite color. So what you got, bro?
Yeah.
The color red or a redheaded beauty with green eyes and an Irish accent.
Yes.
No, they don't have souls.
To both.
Well, I guess I'm part soulless because my bio dad had
not my fault
strawberry blonde hair.
Yeah, no way.
When they have half a soul, I guess.
That's what we call preference. Seriously, like if anybody, call me wrong, but if you had some cute, hot, whatever your definition is of attractive is, a female.
I'm actually
your ideal, whether it's black hair, red hair, blonde, blue, white, but come on, whatever.
Tattoos.
Tattoos, no tattoos, exactly. You know, like everybody's got a flavor. You know.
Yeah. See, like I kind of have like my what types of things I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Big boobs.
Big
What was that? What was that?
Big boobs.
Yeah. But I don't. Yeah, I've never been to like, oh, if it's a black person, ew. Or if it's like, no, you know what? Maybe I don't know.
But some Asian girls and some black girls and Middle Eastern girls.
Rihanna,
and some,
come on. Who's gonna say Rihanna's not hot?
You
Or
know, like there's
Ashwari Rai. I don't know
all-
if I'm saying her name properly, but she's like a Bollywood actress. Holy fuck, is she pretty?
Yeah, like
she's hot.
There's beauty is beauty, and I don't think like color has anything to do with it, really.
Nope.
No, definitely not. So there was one article I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if up in your neck of the woods, Mo, if you guys have this problem. I'm sure everywhere has this problem, but in Winnipeg, Manitoba, that's in Canada, north of the United States,
yes,
between the U.S. and the Arctic,
which is
like North Pole,
which is the neck in the woods. Just saying.
So, but there was an article from the Globe and Mail that kind of caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And give me a piece of shit. So it says, and this was from it was obviously from the Globe and Mail, but it was like, fire officials in Winnipeg say a blaze at a temporary camp near the Winnipeg's downtown was large enough to damage nearby power lines and threaten surrounding structures. So in that like there's that what is that Aboriginal Center in Winnipeg?
Are you talking about that new-ish one? Like it's very modern looking building?
Well, there's that one which was supposed to be a youth retreat thing to help kids, and then across Main Street, like Kitty Corner, Main Street and Higgins, there was that Aboriginal. It looks like kind of like
an old train station looking thing or something, like that big building. Okay, yeah.
No, not the big building. Kitty Corner, which is like across the road and on the other side.
Hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that one.
This is why I need a Google Maps link right here. This building, see?
Yeah. So there was they have temporary, like tents and shit, and everything caught on fire there. So this isn't the first time this has happened. Apparently, it happened one other time, and there was a massive explosion.
Wait, hold on. A bunch of tents and stuff. I believe that.
It could be because they're having
that
traditional
building. It's right beside the fire museum.
Yeah.
That building. So. Oh.
So in that area, it's all like a homeless encampment.
Yeah,
and someone lit a fire. Yeah, I don't know. I found that kind of, I don't know. It's a little, I don't know. Okay, hot take. I understand that some homeless people have shut up. Why are you making noise? I understand some homeless people have like a mental illness and untreated mental illness. I get that. I also understand that some people are homeless because they actually just want to be homeless. They don't want to, play the rat race. So they just kind of take social programs and just use them. Like they literally have no incentive to actually try and do something. And I kind of think of like Vancouver has a massive problem with homelessness. It is sad and almost
super expensive to live there too. I can tell you, I lived in Vancouver, North Vancouver, for 10 years. So.
Oh yeah. Like the whole west coast of the United States, sorry, U.S. Like this is that is like 101 of failed policies. When you have literally parks full of homeless people, full.
Forget parks. Like Vancouver, downtown east side is all you have to say. Like
Look, Oppenheimer Park.
It's a whole section. Yeah, Oppenheimer's right in the epicenter of that. Yeah, I've been there many times. I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, Oppenheimer Park. And there's another one. I can't remember what that park's called, but it used to actually...
Literally 2 blocks away from Metropolis Center, like city, like people are eating like $1,000 steaks.
Yeah.
In blocks of this place.
Yeah, it is so weird. Like even on East Hastings, like anyone that knows Vancouver, East Hastings is like the bad area. And it's so weird because you just hit an imaginary line
downtown, and it's probably the worst place you've seen in a city in a long time.
It's so unbelievable to see. Like that section, that inner like downtown Vancouver area. It's just homelessness and like just druggies, and you constantly have
suburb. It's like right downtown. Like you can get off of the C bus or any of the trains or the SkyTrain station. Like it's the local hub for like downtown Vancouver. Within 2 blocks of that, you're into
East Hastings. Almost.
You're into East Hastings and the stuff that you've heard about in the news. Yes, and it's true. Like broad daylight at like 8 o'clock, any time of the day, it doesn't matter when you go. You're going to see stuff that you've never seen anywhere else.
Yeah, and it's
right in front of you, right fucking there, and all you got to do is just walk through there.
Because I believe Hastings...
Don't walk through alone. Take some friends.
Yeah, I think Hastings... I can't remember if it goes east-west or north-south.
East-west.
Is it east-west? Okay.
East-west.
So I believe if you're heading east, so I think if you're going from like the Trans-Canada and you're going in towards Vancouver, it's so weird because eventually, like, it's like a line. Like there's just some arbitrary line that you cross, and all of a sudden it's, beautiful glass-covered buildings and like chandelier foyers or lobbies. Like they're just, it's so weird because it's like just a block ago, everything was boarded up. There were cops and EMS everywhere and public service vehicles trying to help people, cardboard houses and tents and
blocks. It's not like it's like, oh, it's way over there. It's like, from like right Metropolis downtown, like 2 blocks, boom, you're in the thick of it. Whatever it is. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Like I wonder if it is just because of well, I think it has a lot to do with failed policy and incentivizing a lot of it. There are people that just say, I'm okay being homeless. I get food, I get free drugs, I get free needles, and everything's taken care of. I don't have to work.
It's also cost of living too, though. Like if you look up Vancouver, is one of the top like 10 or so. Like it's way up there. Like it's one of the costliest cities to live in. So even your average Joe, forget homeless people, even your average person struggles in Vancouver to meet, like basic needs, generally speaking, because it's a major metropolis area. And taxes are high, and price of real estate is high. Price of rent, if you're not buying real estate,
is insane. You see houses that are like, we don't have a big house, but you see houses like our size, and if they had the yard our size, we're talking in the millions.
$1 million homes.
It's
$1 million
crazy.
Home.
Yeah.
No, not a million.
A yard, like single detached home in Vancouver metropolis area, is going to be $750 plus, but you're right, probably closer to $1 million plus.
Yeah,
$750s for no frills and nothing in a not great area, but you're getting in the market. $1 million is going to get you a place though somewhere.
Well, and we have a quarter of an acre yard, like that. We'd be talking millions here.
That doesn't happen in Vancouver. Yeah, you would subdivide that and have a whole complex on there and make millions.
Yeah.
Couldn't even believe, like, when I go on the road with Tyler, sometimes, like, we've gone obviously through many parts of BC, but as we're going, I'm looking at just like your regular houses, and then you have stores and buildings, then all of a sudden farm. Wait, what? Farmland? And I see animals and I see crops, and then I look across the street. Oh, look, there's another farm. And then, oh, look, a building. Like it's so messed up. Like here where we are, like to get to a farm, like if you live in the city, you have to go out of the city to get to farms, where these are literally like your next door neighbors, they have farms. You're like, what? It's so compact and weird.
Yeah.
Well, Surrey and Delta, those are like designated like farming communities.
Not
so
much
weird.
Surrey or Delta. No, you go out to further like Chilliwack, Mission.
Well, yeah, but no, Delta has a lot of agriculture still. It's slowly cutting back. But
everywhere. You're right. Delta does have a bunch. I'm not saying there isn't any. I'm just saying they're not the major places in metropolis Vancouver area.
Yeah, no.
But there are some. Exactly. You go to Richmond, BC, and in that area, there's massive agricultural areas right in the middle of the, like within city limits.
Yeah, right on. Was it 99? Like right along that highway.
Yeah, exactly. 99. Farms everywhere. Every second lot is a farm. True story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
So, I found that. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you could possibly attempt to solve that problem, and I don't know if it's like people's problem to solve. I know that probably comes out as really like
every people's problems to solve. That's a fact.
So I don't know if people just need like a treatment, or if this is just, hey, this is what I want to do, and you keep dishing it out, so I'm gonna fucking take it. So I don't know. It's a real weird.
Well, that's weird. It's a Band-Aid solution.
Right? Oh yeah.
It's just making sure there's basic needs that are met, and that's about the end of it. Unless you want to personally get involved and take that extra step.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, well, which isn't unfair, a lot of people have their own daily shit to deal with than somebody else's.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but that's how it goes. The reality is sometimes is I would like to help you, but I'm fucking trying to help my own here, bro.
Well, yeah, and that's always kind of been my thing. Like, on time out. Excuse me. But my thing has always been. Oh, did that actually come through?
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
I pulled away and everything. Oh well. You have to you clean up your yard before you go clean up somebody else's. Like, make sure that you're okay. And this is like a big thing in like very, very wealthy people. They obviously they donate a lot of money to charities. And I know Robert Kiyosaki, he's
it's tax deductible, by the way. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. They have to get rid of that money, otherwise it's going to the tax man. So might as well do something with it where the government isn't leasing it
to those people, and then you get a tax receipt and you get some money back instead of just giving it all away. That's why they do it.
Yeah. So it's
when you're talking corporate and big money kind of giving it away.
Yeah, but they whether it's for nefarious reasons or self-interested reasons, well, at least they're donating the money. Like they're doing something instead of just hoarding it like Scrooge McDuck.
Better than nothing. I agree 100%.
So, but that was actually one thing like Robert Kiyosaki really talked about was I donate a lot of money. Yeah, okay, there's tax kickbacks, but it's actually to support the community that has fostered my ability to succeed. That's why like you'll see like people will kind of shit on like what's the football stadium in Winnipeg called now? Isn't it like is it MTS Place or something? I know MTS Place is the arena, like the hockey arena. But anyways, whatever. I'll just use that as an example. Well, they're funding it. Like they made a massive contribution in the development of this building.
IG Field.
IG, all right, Investors Group.
Yeah.
So they put a fuck ton of money into these buildings to put their name on it. It's a billboard. It's a billboard that people can use, so to speak. Actually, no. It's literally a billboard that people can use. So, I'm a fan of stuff like that. I'm a fan of businesses putting money into communities, I guess where my mind starts to get blurred and possibly crossed is when businesses start pushing an ideology. That's where I start to get a little...
That only becomes an issue, though, when you're talking about multinational corporations, though, and they can push their narrative.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time.
Coca-Cola.
They have... any of the big food companies, any of the big pharmaceutical companies, any of the big tech companies, all of them influence daily decisions by advertising, by this is what we support and what we don't support.
Yeah, well, and actually, this is a bit of a segue into one of the articles that we have pulled up. Well, it's a screen grab from Twitter, and it's from Scripps National News, and it says, by the end of November, if you're 12 or older and want to fly or take a train, you'll have to be fully vaccinated. Well, okay. I'm not a fan of it, but...
That's in Canada right now. That's happening right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it's October 29th is when they started doing it.
End of October, specifically for federal employees and et cetera. Like anything with infrastructure money from the federal government, like trains, planes, Medicare, anything like that. Yeah, you like anything that's government funded by the end of this month.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this kind of ties into what I was saying originally about like this Dean Blundell guy, which apparently was a Toronto radio host. And he comes off, I was reading some of his stuff and the way that he communicates with people. He he says, "Oh, I'm sick of being like the edgy punk guy," but that comes through in vivid colors in how this guy kind of communicates. So I was looking at some articles from him, and this kind of sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole because initially the initial story that we were looking into was an article, or I guess a blog post from WordPress, which was titled that a tragedy in rural Alberta, a courageous doctor speaks out, and it's a doctor telling him a story of, I had patients that were dying, and we were basically just leaving him in a corner to die. They were on oxygen, and we had to find a way to try and save them. So comes in like this. As soon as I started reading this article, it reeked of bullshit to me. And I know, Kim, when you were looking this up, that's why I immediately said, no, we can't use this. Like, this isn't an article that we can use. Because it was just, it hit on all those talking points. It was like, so we had these 3 patients who were COVID positive, and they were in, by the time I got to the hospital, they were already on ventilators, and they were having they were short of breath. Oh yeah. The only here, I'll just read this little, and this is where I said smells like bullshit. All the patients were on oxygen and extremely short of breath. The only medications these patients on were steroids, a medication that will decrease inflammation but also increases the chance of a bacterial infection by suppressing the immune system. Okay, yeah, that's right. The only medication the COVID patients at the hospital on were immune suppressants. Oh no. Okay, so I told her. So the doctor's speaking to, I guess, one of the nurses. I can't speak for the usual doctors during the week, but this weekend, and I'll do everything I can to help. I offered ivermectin. She wanted to try it because she heard nothing but good things about it. All 3 patients wanted to try ivermectin. The hospital didn't have any, so we had to ask Red Deer Hospital's central pharmacy for medication. They refused to send the ivermectin. He even had the pharmacy director of all of Alberta contact me to tell me ivermectin didn't work. Okay, so the more you're kind of reading this, okay, here's the next part. Just 1 or 2 more lines, and then that's it. We didn't have all day. My patients were sick, so I started everyone on the next best thing. Can you take a guess of what it is, Mo?
Must have been that drug.
Well, they didn't have.
They didn't have the ivermectin. So what was the other thing that was widely talked about?
Oh well, that I can't answer. I don't know.
Hydrochloroquine.
Yeah, the hydroxychloroquine.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, which the hospital did have. I also started vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And because the patients were coughing and short of breath, I gave them inhalers. Kim, I don't know how to say that one.
The salbutamol?
Yeah, and then the Flovent. The same inhalers that's been used for asthma for over 50 years. So it sounds like, when I'm hearing this, please tell me if I'm wrong. Does that not sound like almost like every single contrarian story? Absolutely, ivermectin works. Absolutely, hydroxychloroquine works. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc.
Oh yeah, gotta have the zinc. Yeah.
Well, that is the real question that's been going on for a while. Is the controversy about those exact things? Like from the beginning, I didn't recognize the name until.
Yeah, so it.
I didn't recognize the name until you had said it, but you're right. A lot of doctors, sorry to cut you off there, a lot of doctors have said, well, this is readily available and it's cheap and apparently is effective. Why can't we give this to people? And they're like, no, that's not, no, that's not going to work. And instead of even attempting to, well, let's see if it does, they were just like, no, that doesn't work. Follow the science. You don't know what you're talking about. Our experimental vaccine, by the way, which is interesting, if you look up today, the vaccines that are currently available, I think they're still all listed as experimental.
I think one was actually approved by.
Yes, one was in the FDA in the Americas was.
Yeah, I know. I think it's
the Pfizer one, was it not?
I believe so. What is it? Comirnadeine or something? I can't remember.
I don't know all the legal names for it.
Yeah.
Only one of them, but up until literally like within a month or so, they've all been listed as experimental.
Yeah, emergency use.
Pfizer's the only one that's FDA approved as of right now.
Yeah.
Which
means absolutely nothing. I can tell you FDA approved a lot of shit that's killed a lot of fucking people.
I remember seeing a meme of...
It just means you're legally allowed to put it out.
I remember seeing, what was that meme? It was a meme of He-Man. And he says, all those advertisements for you may be entitled to a large compensation were all approved by the FDA.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I get it. And but I think that type of stuff does contribute to a lot of people having, hesitancy. And I'll reiterate, Dr. Zubin, I've been, for anyone that watches, Z-Dog MD does a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job. I wouldn't say he didn't talk me off the ledge, but he put things into perspectives, and I just, you know what? That makes sense. Like it's as easy as that. That makes sense. Because he said the forced vaccinations, terrible fucking idea. Stupid. The mandates, stupid idea. We're not taking into consideration science. Which it's like everyone is saying, follow the science. No, you follow the science. No, you follow the science.
Head with exactly. Follow the science.
Yeah, nah, fuck you. Nah, fuck you. Nah, fuck you.
The problem is science is good, but it's not irrefutable. Like that's why it is science. In fact, there's questioning, there's studies, there are, the problem with this vaccine right now is they've been studying it before, but now it's like you're the study. There aren't clinical trials. You're the clinical trial. And not only that, it's now fucking mandatory, or it's going to cost you your job, or travel restrictions, or you can't even go to the coffee store with your fucking girlfriends to get a latte without your fucking documentation. That's the difference. There's been vaccines for a long time, and they have been mostly like they've been, I wouldn't say mandatory, but they've been pressed pretty hard.
Yeah.
First time ever that our government, or even most governments, are like, we're not asking, we're telling.
Like, look at Australia.
It doesn't matter. Forget everything about the vaccine. Forget about whether it's all of that. The fact that the government is telling you you do not have a choice is the reason why you should be waving that flag, is the reason why you should be going, well,
something's up there.
If it's right or wrong, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, well,
we the people, not you the government. Isn't this how this is supposed to go?
Well,
no.
we're supposed to have a charter
of rights. That's not how it's going, but that's how it should be going.
Well, and there's, like, everyone's looking at Israel. Israel is basically a countrywide case study, and they're seeing lots of breakthrough cases. So, yeah, no, it's just showing the vaccine is starting to wane. And I had a discussion. Actually, a bit of an exchange on one of our previous videos about with nurses. Nurses are going to be fired if they don't get the vaccine. Well, the same people that are saying follow the science, well, the science is literally saying people that have had COVID and have recovered from it, so now they have the antibodies to fight the virus in their body, is stronger than just having one shot of a vaccine, potentially 2 shots over a 6-month period. So let me clarify that. People that have had COVID and have recovered from it, their ability to fight the virus has lasted longer than people that have had the 2 shots of the vaccination. Their resiliency has withstood the time, or
No, I get what you're saying, because your natural immunity is best for you. And that's just it. Everybody's immune system is just a little different than everybody else's, because we're all unique individuals.
Yeah.
And what works for one not necessarily is going to work for the other as well, or in some cases better than the said thing. And which is why putting it on the whole population is a gamble at best. Well, and it is a gamble. Like, they're looking at attrition rates. They're looking at, okay, well, we're going to give it to 10 billion people, but there's going to be 100,000 people that are going to get fucked up. But that's acceptable.
It's a risk mitigation, or a risk assessment. Like, okay, we're going to save a lot. Yeah, sacrifice a few to save the many, which I'm not a fan like that. I don't subscribe to that. But also, I was going to say, what actually shows the absolute strongest is natural infection. And I was actually looking up these studies. I was kind of checking to see if Z-Dog was actually telling the truth or bullshitting, but it was natural infection with a booster later on down the road. He said that is the absolute best for someone if they can get it, but we're not talking about an immunization. And so when I was looking at this Dean Blundell, he was saying, like, well, of course the numbers will go up. It happens every time we turn the mandate screws. So when we force people to do it, and I've noticed the way that this guy talks, it's like I said, it's a condescending that he knows, and you should know, like, why are you so fucking dumb? So here's one quote or one piece from one article. I have 2 articles pulled up from him, and a fuck ton of rebuttals, because I think this guy just, is either a contrarian or is just trying to be edgy, just to be like cool and, oh, look at the dumb, look at the dumb conservatives, which, well, I'm not conservative, but
take a side and make a stand, right? Make a video about it. That's an absolute thing. That's what modern day right now. That's what's happening with our media. It has nothing to do with real story and news, but it has to do with sensationalization and opinions, regardless of truth in the matter.
Yeah,
like which is why you shouldn't watch the news all the time of any big national news organization.
Yeah, so this little part that he says was, FYI, you made your decision. That decision comes with consequences. Every decision does. The decision you've made in terms of getting vaccinated will place you into a certain group according to risk. That's all this is. Get vaccinated or not. I don't care. I'm looking forward to traveling again and may go train, plane, cruise ship just because I can.
Yep.
Like, okay, sorry, does Dean Blundell, Kim?
Well, can, but
that is literally someone that is just saying, hey, it's fine for me. What? Just do it. Just do it. You don't even, like, this is Ethan Klein. Just do it, bro. You don't even have to think about it. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Thing is, our own government right now is they haven't made it into law because they know they can't. They can't put it into actual law because our human rights laws trump them. Like the right to freedom and liberty and body and the right to privacy and all of those things, which is why it's not law. They're putting all the pressure on the big corporations. And it's funneling down from them. Like the government is pressuring them, but there's no law, there's no legal precedent. And big corporations like the banks are the ones that started it because, well, you follow the money. That's where the banks go. And, bank employees had to start getting immunized right away. And that was pressed by the government.
So here, I got...
It's still illegal. It's still illegal to do that. Like, it's discrimination is what it is. And think of it this way. If the same restaurant that you were going into didn't let you in because you didn't have a valid vaccine passport, if that same restaurant went, you can't come in because you're black, or you're Asian, or whatever,
It's more the tone deafness.
Same argument? Yeah, would it be the same argument? Like, I think people would be like, well, that's not fucking right. Well, you're right. That's not fucking right. So why all of a sudden is it right for, oh, well, you should get vaccinated because
the government said so.
Yeah, like it's a scary place we're in right now, I think, in Canada. I think in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it more speaks to like seeing him say something like that speaks to the tone. Like it's completely tone deaf. If like I want to have the information so that I can make an informed opinion. Like I've said a million times, I'll fucking say it again. If anyone's playing the bingo game, I'm already vaccinated. In fact, I was probably one of the first to be vaccinated in my age group. So, but. So I wanted to bring up when you were saying we have these laws and this stuff, but I think laws are they're fluid. They either get enforced more or they don't get enforced and get forgotten about.
That's a true story.
So this was one thing I just searched up, like, what are some stupid laws in Canada? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun with this.
It's never been erased from the records because it's relevant.
It's still on the books. It is illegal to pretend to practice witchcraft.
So when you go to the store and buy candles and a little pentagram and have this little book about how to cast a love potion, they could technically throw you in prison for that if they wanted.
But it's to pretend to. So what if you're like, dude, I really do witchcraft. Like, this is my thing.
Well, that's when they throw you in the fucking lake and hope you don't drown. And if you survive, well, she wasn't a witch.
Yeah.
My God.
That's how old that fucking rule is right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they survived the burning at the stake, well, clearly they were a witch.
Actually, a lot of that witch burning stuff had to do with a fungus that grows in bread.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
I can't remember it's a mold that grows on bread. And that was the idea as to why people were going like so crazy. Like people were hallucinating and shit. Kim, are you looking it up?
Well, what does that have to do with witch burnings, though? I know this is not anything on the topic that we're talking about, but what?
No, but
how does moldy bread equate to witch burnings, like worldwide, Salem or otherwise, like Eastern Europe? What?
Because that had to do with, well, the Salem witch trials. It was people were believing people were casting spells, or they were causing people to have hallucinations and shit like that.
What does that have to do with bread? I don't think that has anything to do with bread, but people being people. Like, scared and
how rye bread may have caused the Salem witch trials. In 1962, a small Putrin village in Salem, Massachusetts, was plagued by a sudden and brief cloud of witchcraft accusations. Okay, yeah. We know all that.
God, that's it.
Found evidence, or this Dr. Linda Corporell, whatever, found evidence of the supported later hypothesis, proposed that perhaps a brief and intense illness suffered by so many of the township were not bewitchment, but rather
food poisoning on a mass scale.
Ergotism, a common contracted by rye. Later on, historians agreed ergotism was not only an interesting theory, but also had some footing. Could all of the crazy happenings in Salem really be caused by some rotten rye?
Well, Salem is one isolated instance. I can tell you for hundreds of years before Salem, witches were burned at the stake and thrown in lakes and...
The height of it, but
they weren't all eating rye bread.
Rye bread has been around for a very long time.
You're right, but to contribute it to that is almost laughable. That's like saying, well, we know oxygen causes corrosion, but because you breathe it, you're dying faster.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so once contracted from rye bread, ergotism, also called St. Anthony's fire, caused severe convulsions, muscle spasms, delusions, the sensation of crawling under the skin, and in extreme cases, gangrene of the extremities. Severe hallucinations can also be a symptoms of lysergic acid, whatever, that is a substance from which the drug LSD is synthesized. These symptoms were...
Yeah, but they're not burning these people as witches. They're burning the pretty maidens that aren't twitching and freaking. No,
I think that's a misconception that they were going after pretty people. It was just, I think people were going psycho.
But no, it was witches. They tended to be female, almost exclusively. Not always. There were some males, exclusively females. And they were typically the better looking ones of wherever they were from, typically. And because they were bewitching the men around them for whatever reasons. So I call it human fucking jealousy and somebody just being a fucking great person and people like them and people around them getting jealous and going, well, that's not right. And I'm a good law abiding Christian citizen and you're tempting my husband. So you need to burn at the stake.
Oh, I'm sure there was some fuckery.
Simple as human fucking jealousy and fear.
But I think like people were saying like, oh, this person, they cursed me. I seen them do it. They did it, but they were having these symptoms. Like they're saying the symptoms are.
How the fuck would they know what if you know it's a fucking witch curse? That makes you a witch automatically. How would you know that they just text you or cursed you or...
Well, see, but that's the thing.
That's all. Nobody knows what they're fucking talking about. That somebody's firing the flames of fucking suspicion around. No, that's nuh-uh.
Okay, but we used to drill holes
bullshit on the bread. I call bullshit on the bread right there. That's my...
What? We used to drill holes in our heads.
You're right. Lobotomy?
That was a thing. So I could see it as, it becomes almost,
no.
I don't know if it'd be like dogmatic, but it could be someone saying like, hey, this person, acts weird. And they're saying some of the symptoms is crawling sensation in the skin, tingling in the fingers, vertigo, tinnitus, headache, disturbances in sensation, hallucination, painful musculature contractions, vomiting, and diarrhea, as well as psychological symptoms.
People as witches, but typical witch burnings were not on those people.
I don't know. I could see it because rye bread has been dated back to even like Egypt. That's predominantly how they made
rye
their
bread. Has been around since, like, you're right, 1,000 years plus.
Yeah, but like they're saying even like psychological symptoms as mania, I don't know what I done.
So we still have rye bread today. How come we're not doing the same thing? Because we have rye worldwide. You can go to any grocery store.
Okay, but that's different now. Now we know about these things, bread. And we can stop the spores from happening because our food goes through vigorous amount of bleachings and I don't know, fixings. But regardless, I mean, if we were sitting in a courtroom right now and I'm, say, having these hallucinations or whatever, and I'm looking over at Rihanna, some freaking hot chick over there, I don't care, whoever, and all of a sudden I see spiders coming out of her hair, or I think that she's looking at me weird, if I were to stand up and say, she's a witch, do you really think, like, this wasn't, when the Salem witch trials happened, it wasn't one of those times where someone would look at you and be like, yeah, right. They would be like, oh my God, she said she's a witch. Why did you say she was a witch? I saw this, I saw that. They wouldn't even take Rihanna's, I'm not a witch, into perspective. They would take my accusation. And there were so many innocent people that were killed during those innocent, the Salem witch trials and stuff like that because of dumb stuff like that. There were younger girls that, they didn't like their friend over here. So then you're a witch. And then everyone's getting freaking hung and whatever. So I could understand that.
And it had nothing to do with fucking bread.
Might have. You never know.
There may have been. Never. You're right. I don't know. And neither do you because we weren't there. But the bread scenario
is an interesting theory that may or may not have happened.
It's interesting and it's plausible, just highly improbable, especially across the time span we're talking about. In Salem itself, could it have been? It absolutely could have been. The town could have fucking had a bad batch from the baker and everybody went fucking crazy. 100% could have happened.
Look about that town in the United States where everyone had that
for
worm and caused them all to be
years.
slow.
Yeah, but we're talking about single isolated incidents. We're talking about witches being burned and hung and drowned. What was hundreds of years of
but
stuff.
The primary one was in Salem. So if you're thinking about the Salem witch trials,
primary, that's the biggest one in modern times in North America.
But that's the point. Is maybe there was some sort of poisoning or something going on in Salem, but other places around the world adapted to it, not knowing that these people were crazy.
Fucking witches and needed to be burned.
No, witches do not need to be burned.
Okay, so hold on. I'm actually looking into a bit of the history. They didn't discover that ergot on rye. They thought it was actually part of it, and it wasn't discovered until the 1850s. So from up until the 1850s, it looks like the grain. It just looks like black parts of the grain. So from up until the 1850s is when they finally figured out, hey, this stuff isn't supposed to be there.
Maybe so, but if you're trying to contribute that to all of the witch hangings, or
we're
whatever,
not talking all of them. We're talking about Salem. Just Salem.
Salem. I'll give you Salem alone and have nothing else to say about it. That's what my whole point is. It could have been a thing there, but
all of them, no. But this particular article that will be in the description box below is specifying in Salem. They're talking about the Salem witch trials, not all witch trials.
Might have exacerbated the issue, gotta say. But witches and the fear of them and all of that stuff had nothing to do with your baker. Had to do with people being afraid and unknowledgeable and jealous. And
yeah, it was just. Well, like I said, if it was up until the 1850s, okay, then people were consuming this I don't know, what a bacteria, this whatever this stuff was, up until at least 1850. Like that's that's fucked up. But
what kind of weird laws do we have other than the practicing or
right? It is illegal to paint a wooden ladder. Yes.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know. It is illegal to swear in a public park.
Oh shit.
Oh, we're all guilty of this. 100%. It is illegal to build a big snowman.
What? That's a law.
Hold on.
In Canada, what references?
What?
It is illegal.
They made a whole movie on this. Would you like to build a snowman?
It is illegal to indulge in illegal behavior.
Sorry, in illegal what? You cut out there.
Behavior. It is illegal to indulge. It is illegal to enjoy doing illegal things.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you're doing said illegal things, as long as you're not enjoying it, you're good. If you're enjoying it, that's illegal.
Your Honor, I felt so dirty. I had the next steak. Please take pity on me.
I felt so dirty. I had to go do it again. I'm so sorry.
Dirty.
Actually, this one I do remember hearing about. But it is illegal to create, possess, and sell crime comics because they thought that it would actually induce or contribute to people committing more crimes. That one I actually remember hearing about. But
see, I haven't looked up any Canada's funny ones, but I watched a TV program like not less than a month ago. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in Britain. And they had I don't know if he was a YouTuber, a TikToker, but somebody who liked to take videos. And he did exactly what we're talking about. He was like, we're going to find British laws that are still on the books that are like ridiculous. And we're going to break the laws in front of police officers. So like one of them, for lack of another example, is one of them is apparently it's illegal to carry a fresh salmon down the street.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why. So this guy, he has a friend filming him, and he goes and buys a fresh salmon and wraps it in a newspaper like you would in England proper, I would assume, and is walking up to the cops going, hey, what the fuck do you want? You know, he's like, well, are you gonna arrest me? And he's like, for what? Well, I got this fresh salmon here. The cops looking at him like, well, I might arrest you, but it ain't for the fucking salmon. You know, and he does a bunch of these. And there's like stupid laws like that. And they go up to officers and stuff and try and get arrested. And of course, they always fail. But there are actual laws on the book. And this was in Britain, and it was a TV show. So
yeah,
it's all true. I can't even remember what it's called, but I remember watching it, and it was pretty funny. Them trying to troll the cops, and the cops are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, I believe it's Mr. Ballin on YouTube. He does like little short videos about like stupid US laws, and it's like it's beautiful.
Look at Canadian ones, because I'm sure we got to fit like it's not you can't tickle a moose's balls or you're going to jail.
Well, like all the ones that I'm saying, these are all Canadian based.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Google that stuff.
This one I find kind of fun. It is illegal to challenge someone to a duel.
Dude,
I do that every Friday. Son of a bitch.
Right? That's exactly. That's faction warfare. I'm gonna come and get you. You gonna come and get me? Yeah. I'll meet you on the battlefield.
Oh, hold on. It's against the law to climb a tree.
Yep.
Well,
what?
We're all we've all done that.
Climb a tree.
How do you rescue cats then?
Kids are getting arrested worldwide.
Yeah. Another one is it's illegal to pay with change. For example, you can't pay with more than $5 in nickels, and you can't pay more than $25 in loonies, which is our $1 bills.
Well, that's fucking loony. That's a Canadian law.
That's funny. Bullshit. Oh, it's illegal to play a music instrument in a park.
Yep.
Think about all those festivals that you have that are in parks. I guess those lots of people get arrested.
Special place in hell.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we've all been guilty of this. Kids under 15 can't be outside after midnight.
Oh.
That doesn't work in the Yukon, you know? Like, I grew up in Alberta, and one of the first rules that we had as young kids is you're going to be home when the street lights come on. When they come on, I don't need to tell you you're coming home. That's how it works.
Yeah. Oh, that's always been...
We moved to the Yukon. Well, in the summertime, it doesn't fucking get dark. Street lights didn't come on. Guess what happened the first time I came home when the street lights came on?
It is illegal to have pet rats in Alberta. In Alberta, it is illegal to have a pet rat. Okay, hold on. This is actually a crazy, crazy thing. There are no rats in Alberta.
Yes.
What?
There are no rats in Alberta.
How is that
BC,
even possible?
A lot of rats.
When you think of like New York, that literally has a rat population that's like double the human population in like New York. How in Alberta is there no rats?
Yeah, water and all of that has to do with that, though. You know, access to that.
Alberta's rat-free status have enjoyed living without the menace since 1950, when the provincial rat control program was established. The rats are not allowed to establish themselves in Alberta. So if you see a rat, you have to fucking kill it.
Do they have like little signs put up like no habitating here for the rats to read or something?
Well, and probably to the point where if you go to the pet store, any pet store anywhere else, you could probably buy a pet rat. In Alberta, you might not be able to for that reason. I don't know for sure, but if they have that kind of legislation, it might be...
Then if they have such like a huge rat problem in like New York and other places, then why aren't other places adapting whatever it was that they did to take care of their rat population?
Well, I think you just can't at some point. Like, I think, yeah. What was that movie, that documentary? Wasn't it just called Rats?
Yeah, like Critical Mass. There's a point where you cannot control it any longer unless you nuke the whole fucking place. You know what I mean?
Well, and in New York, there's the rats are becoming aggressive. Like, they're actually rolling in like gangs, and they're like attacking people now because so many people have left. There's not a lot of food. Pretty fucked up. All right, here I think we've all heard of this. In Canada, no person shall market a product in import, export, or interprovincial trade in such a manner that is likely to be mistaken for a maple product for which a grade or standard is established under these regulations. So don't go around telling people that chocolate sauce is maple syrup.
I'll try to resist.
There are actual laws about maple syrup in Canada. This I'm aware of.
That's funny.
Well, that's why one of the biggest thefts in Canadian history was a massive shipment of what?
Maple syrup.
They took truckloads of maple syrup. Millions and millions of dollars worth of tree sap.
How did we get onto this stupid laws thing?
We've been all over the map all night long. This is what happens when you come into a podcast without a preset. I'm just like, hi. I don't know. We're talking stuff. Well, I can talk about stuff.
I got a bunch of stuff written on the docket, but whatever. I don't care.
We've been everywhere. We've been all over the map.
I've been everywhere, man.
So we should talk about just like everything. Like everything Sunday. Thanksgiving, what the fuck Sunday. There we go.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We're talking about life, the universe, and everything. The answer is actually 42. And what's your opinion? There we go.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. I know it's crazy seeing. Well, I know in the U.S., what was it? Fauci was saying, there's gonna be no Christmas, and then he flip flops and goes, "Oh no, Christmas is back on." Like, what? Since when did you become the arbiter of a fucking?
And that's just like
holiday?
No family gatherings more than, and you know what all the family said? Go fuck yourself. We're having Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so I guess one thing I did want to get back to. So this Dean Blundell. Sorry, Dean Blundell. I'm sure you're never going to hear this, but you know what? Maybe if you do, maybe you'll maybe get off your shitty high horse.
After tonight, I'm going to Google it because I've heard it 3 times tonight, and I have no idea what you're talking about. So
I will agree with him with the tragedy. He tweeted tragedy in rural Alberta is trending, but only with crazy fucks who think horse paste cures COVID. Okay, which I understand what he's doing, but we actually use a lot of medications in animals and in humans. So, horse paste is completely different, but, I understand he's just trying to be that. Apparently he's not the edgelord and shock jock, but, the tragedy is these people have Twitter accounts and are allowed to breed. Okay. That's cool. So someone ended up posting a picture.
Donald Trump, and they took it away from him, and he's still trying to fight in court to get it back. So what's your point?
Oh, and Trump he's campaigning like a motherfucker right now. He's doing rallies everywhere.
Oh yeah,
and no one is hearing.
And he wants his Twitter account back. I can tell you that.
Oh well, like that's what I think is super scary.
You're canceled. We're a big company, and it doesn't matter what you say. Even if you're the fucking president of the United States, you're canceled. Have a nice day. Bye.
So, well, terrorist groups are still on there, but Donald Trump can't be.
That's what I mean. Like all the stuff that's on there that could be and should be banned, and the things that are. It's like PGI currently. Hi, Vagine. How you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Like them going after Vagine for that name is the same thing. Like objectionable in what way? In your own fucking personal fantasy world, is it objectionable?
Yeah.
The main populace. We're talking like less than 1% probably had a problem, and because of that, we all got to change because, well, the minority has spoken.
Well,
what?
Which for anybody who has listen to previous podcasts, just to catch you up in case you haven't heard any of those ones.
Did you get an email?
Play Mech Warrior. No. Play Mech Warrior online. Okay. And my game name on there was Vagine Machine. Had the name for 3 years. Some crybaby, complained about it. And then I got an email from a GM Patience who works with PGI as a moderator, basically saying that my name was offensive and somebody complained about it and I have to change it. So I was blocked out of my account until I changed my name. So then
have to change it. They changed it for you. You had no choice.
Well, yeah, it was Mech Warrior plus a bajillion numbers. Anyway. And then, so then I decided to change my name. Being a little salty as I was, I changed it to Patience Force my name change.
You were forced.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that was what my name was, Patience Force my name change. Well, somebody had posted on our forums, I guess, complaining about the fact that I had to have my name forcefully changed or I was canceled, whatever. And then I had replied to that. And of course, my name was what? Patience Force my name change. Literally later that day, I logged into Mech Warrior to play with my guys, and boom, I have been canceled yet again. This time, no email, nothing. So then I had to spend $30 to get the MC to change my name because you cannot play with just a Mech Warrior plus.
See, you got to fight right there because they canceled you without that email. You have a leg to stand on. You should be responding to their customer service. Not responding because there wasn't an initiation on their end. You should be going to them going, hello, it's the weekend, long weekend, Friday, before you guys all went home for the weekend, somebody canceled me. Didn't even send me an email. Why have I been canceled? I've already changed my name and blah, 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 but you should make an example. Like, wait a second, you have the right to cancel anybody. It's your game. But without notification is not how that works. You need to tell me why and the reasons for, and you've yet to have an email. That was Friday afternoon, yes?
Yeah. So no, still nothing.
That's
so
almost
then
malicious.
Yeah, so then I changed my name forcefully, but changed my name to just V Machine. Now, there's some other
Mhm.
people in our unit that thinks that that was a bad mistake and that I'm going to end up getting canceled again because it's too close to Vagine Machine. But you know what? I took the offensive out of the offensive word and
That's
just
just
had
one
a
guy,
letter.
though.
So if this, I am going to tell you, if this gets canceled, I will fucking fight tooth and nail for that one.
I will too. If you want a patient's unit, I'll create an alt account just to be shenanigans.
Right? I will fuck you. Fuck you. That'll, you know what? You know what, patience, if you're listening, 1v1 me, bro. 1v1 me.
That was Nova too. Nova was like, "Don't do it. Don't do it. It's too close to Vagine." And I was like, "It's a V Machine. It's not offensive in any way." And he was like,
Vagine Machine wasn't offensive.
No, it wasn't.
I agree.
Wasn't even a fucking word.
100%.
And I'm a girl. I'm a
it's a
girl,
fake
and I
word.
chose the fucking name. So relax your fucking dicks and your tits. Fuck off.
I know, right? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Sorry. Okay. So that was your little catch up on the whole MWO Vagine Machine universe. Now carry on.
I'm gently nudging you that way because Stompy Robots just.
Oh, we'll be going there right after this. 100%.
So I guess in response to Dean Blundell's stupid, he ended up posting an article. Where is it now? Yeah, I guess in terms of ivermectin, he was saying that. I'm just pulling up the article again.
Conversation about that actually, that it's literally like pennies per dose, and would have done more good than everything you've tried to do so far if we just did this.
So he's saying, so someone had said, "Hey, like check out this stuff. Just look at it." He's like, "That's not science, dipshit. Ivermectin is an anti-parasitic drug. COVID isn't a parasite. Maybe you don't know the difference." And then someone said, the hook line, no, ivermectin is safe for people. It's actually, I was looking into some more information regarding ivermectin. It is so safe for people, illiterate people can actually administer it. That's how safe this drug is.
And so super cheap, which is the problem. They couldn't make any money on it, which is why I was like, no, you can't do that. We can't make any money on that. No, stop that right now. Nope.
So there's and this kind of sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole because someone like, okay, it's one thing for someone to say it's only designed to do this. Okay, yeah. He goes, if you're too cognitively delayed to understand that ivermectin is a anti-parasitic drug, it's no wonder you don't get the science behind a fucking global pandemic. Have a great Monday. Okay, so this sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole. I was looking. I wonder if Dean Blundell has ever looked at something called off-label uses. Maybe in his Toronto fucking broken mind, I'm sure he's never heard of it. Okay, so here's a couple things.
Do you know how the Blue Pill was founded?
Yeah.
The Blue Pill was founded on heart medication. And we're actually going after heart medication to help heart patients. And it turned out Viagra is $1 billion industry, and that heart medication helps your PB.
Yeah. Yeah, so
lost medication right there.
So this is from trialx.com, and they talk about typical uses of things that have been off-label uses. So like anti-seizure drugs can help with migraines, depression, and nerve damage. Antidepressants, chronic pain, ADHD, bipolar disorder, antibiotics, viral infections such as common cold or flu, against which antibiotics are useless. Anxiety drugs to ease normal life stresses as sleep aids. Drugs to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, for people not diagnosed with ADHD to enhance alertness and concentration. So
I sorry to cut you off there. This is why I prefer to take my own drugs.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day. Just kidding.
Yeah, like, I smoke 2 joints in the morning. I smoke at night. Like, I can tell you, like, all of those things, like, are to make other people money. Those, like, everything you're talking about right now is trying to sell you to take their drug over the natural remedy that there exists today. And all of those pharmaceutical drugs came from a natural source. That's where they got the inspiration from to start from.
Well, and some are designed for one thing, but then inadvertently don't actually help with that, and it actually does this as opposed to that.
Yeah, they're trying to monetize it and capitalize on it, and that's why, like marijuana is for a long time has been illegal. It's only recently becoming legal, but for how many years was it illegal? And I can tell you, it will do the job of so many drugs on the market, which is why they didn't want that to happen. There's no more. Why? I can't make $1 billion if the motherfucker can grow it in his backyard. That's not right. I have a patent.
Yeah. Whoops. Well, and
they need to pay for that patent.
Yeah. Well, and here's a couple other ones that I just a quick search. Just look up drugs that were used off-label. Yep. What is it called? Bupropion. So
you're not a pharmacist, right?
No, right? So
AKA
it was initially sold as a medication for depression. It ended up it's also used under the name of Zyban. Does anyone know what Zyban is used for? It's to help quit smoking.
I was going to say
nicotine. Doxepin, which was used to treat angioedema, which is like an inflammation around your eyes.
Angioedema.
Okay. But it was also used as like an antihistamine because of its antihistamine property. So it is an off-label use. There's tons more. Wikipedia has tons of them. What is this? NAMI.org has a bunch of them. Clonidine, smoking cessation, excessive saliva caused by clozapine. Gabapentin, which was initially used for social anxiety, or was for alcohol dependence, but actually helps alleviate social anxiety.
Yep. That might solve 2 of my problems right there. What was
Gabapentin? But this is like, and so when people are saying, "Oh, ivermectin," no, it's not approved for that. Well, here's tons of examples of drugs that were designed to do one thing and can actually serve another purpose. Ivermectin has shown that it actually alleviates upper respiratory illnesses. Okay, but so I'm saying that it is worth considering, and I'm not saying that it's absolutely approved. It might say, hey, you know what? At best, it's a placebo. At best, okay, cool. But ivermectin has been shown to actually alleviate, and this is where, because he was saying it's an anti-parasitic drug. So I was looking into what exactly does ivermectin do? What does it do? So it's supposed to combat parasites being able to procreate, or to gestate in a living organism. Well, apparently it also combats rosacea, which doctors aren't totally sure why rosacea happens, but it could potentially be a genetic disorder. So something you are born with. So rosacea, I was looking, this comes from healthprep.com. So rosacea runs in families. These are the things that they know. The immune system may play a role. So it actually might be a problem that your immune system ends up attacking your nose and the tissue or the vessels around your eyes. A bug that causes infection in the intestines may play a role. Maybe. But yeah, okay. If that's proven, and then I'll give that one to Dean. 100%. I'll say, okay, then that's proven. But potential mites. A protein that normally protects the skin from infection might be breaking down, and that causes rosacea. So the thing is, we don't know everything, Dean. Sorry to tell you. And we have there's tons of other stuff of off-label use, and
I know. I don't know everything, but it sounds like Dean knows about as much as I know, and he's willing to look up and regurgitate into the internet. You know.
Well, an interesting little.
I'm not a virologist or a doctor by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, an interesting little factoid too. Tylenol 3s, like people know, okay, Tylenol 3s are used for what? They're generally used for pain medication, right? Well, when I was a heavy smoker, every single time I would get sick, whether it was a head cold, a flu, it didn't really matter. Anytime I got sick in the slightest, it would always turn into bronchitis. Like I had chronic bronchitis all the time. And I had, because of all the coughing and stuff like that, I remember I was in so much pain and I went to the doctor, and one of my doctors had prescribed me Tylenol 3. And I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, is this for the pain? Because my muscles and everything are all pulled in my chest from all the coughing. He's like, no, it'll help stop the coughing. I'm like, what? How is that even possible? But apparently the codeine that's in Tylenol 3 actually helps suppress his coughing. And no word of a lie, I'm like, why has nobody ever fucking told me this before? Because it worked so well. It was better than a fucking cough candy. It was ridiculous. And it lasted longer. Now, obviously, I'm not telling everyone to go out there and get Tylenol 3s when they're having a little cough. But when you have really bad bronchitis and you're in so much pain and can't stop coughing, that worked immensely. But that's, again, not what it's actually designed for. But again, something that's designed for a pain medication was actually helping suppressing coughing as well. So,
yeah. So, I think Dean is just kind of one of those, kind of one of those.
I'm one of those guys. I'm opinionated. I'm not a doctor. I get a lot of my information from the interwebs. Like a lot of us these days. But
do your research. Don't just look at one thing and think it's Bible and stick with it. This said this. Okay, no. I'm going to go and check this out. I was reading something earlier.
You nailed it right there. Half the problem is everybody takes it as Bible when they read it right then and there. I saw it one time on the interweb. It must be true.
CNN said it, so it's got to be true.
Wait a second, because it's online or because it's on TV, you should take it with a grain of salt automatically. Because it's being presented to you. So they have an agenda. Doesn't matter who's putting it out there. They have an agenda that they would like you to receive, for good or for ill, for both sides. That's why I'm saying you need to look at them all.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me think that this Dean Blundell is just he's just either he's like a big troll, which good for you,
could be,
but you do have some sway. And my thing will always be, I don't know. At best, I can make an educated guess. And a educated guess is I listen to a lot of people and I hear both sides of the argument and I verify, hey, does that make sense? That's a lot of what I do. But a lot of the responses to Dean are all, you're full of shit, you're a fucking liar, over and over and over. Everyone's saying that. So I don't know. The thing is, it's some nameless person. Tennis? I don't know. So a lot of people are saying that this was, that a lot of the story in rural Alberta was true. Thing is, I can't see. I haven't looked that deep into verifying completely. I would just say it sounds like a little bit of horse shit. God came down and everything was beautiful, and you wouldn't believe it. But Jesus, he walked across the water. It's like, okay, come on.
If it smells like horse shit, it's probably fucking horse shit.
Yeah, just do your smell test. Does that sound like bullshit? Okay, well then then find out. So that's what sent me down this. And this is me just researching one story to fall into another, and then it progresses from there to find out that this Dean Blundell is just a fucking edgelord child. But
technically, you, I, and Madam could be those people. Like, you know, like I have an opinion, you have an opinion. We're spouting said opinions. Is everybody going to agree with us? Probably not. Or a bunch? Yeah, probably gonna. But at the end of the day, same. You know.
Yeah. So it's but it's just for someone like I'm. This is why like I will you know everything that I talk about, something will be linked in the description, unless it's just something like in a passing comment. Then please say like, hey, where did you get that information from? I'll tell you where I got it from. Or at least I'll try to remember where I got it from. But for someone just to say, you know, you're a dipshit. No, you're a fucking idiot. You know, like, you're too cognitively delayed. Okay, so you're a fucking retard. You're too stupid to understand this.
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah. And that, but you don't cite anything. Like, hey, validate your stance. Dean, you got nothing to do. You have a fucking podcast. That's literally all you fucking do. So put your sources. Why is it like this? But you know what? He's just going to say, no, you're a fucking moron. So
sources and references are very important because it will lead people down the rabbit hole that you're looking. The same rabbit hole you went down, you're like, right or wrong, this is what led me to this conclusion. And they can choose to follow their own path or find alternate paths.
Like I before I looked at getting the kids vaccinated, I had a conversation with my doctor.
Yeah,
I was asking like, hey, what about, you know, are these, you know, the discussions around ivermectin, are they good? What about like anacloidal antibodies? Are those a good possible source? Apparently they are, but now they're running out. They're running out of supply of monocloidal antibodies.
That's part of the establishment limiting supplies of that and advocating the supplies of the things they want to do. Like that's a business model right there.
So I think I brought this up.
We don't have any more of that in the warehouse. But guess what? We do have an abundance of. You can get this.
Yeah, we have a bunch of this Pfizer stuff, a bunch of stuff.
We'll be happy to send that to you. That stuff? No, we're running short on that. You can't. No, sorry, we can't do that for you today.
And so
that's what that was.
And that's like I brought this up. The government paid for this medication. Whatever, $100 million. Let's I don't know. I'm just throwing out a number. I don't know the exact numbers, so don't quote me on it. They paid for it. It's bought and paid for. Well, when you're at home and you have your groceries in the fridge, and it's like, holy shit, that that jug of milk has been sitting there for a little while. Fuck, I better use it up. What can I make with milk? And then I got this. It has to get used, otherwise it will go bad. So I don't know. That's the kind of way that I would see the government is. Hey, we've spent all this money. We got to use this stuff. Otherwise, this is literally just going to go in the trash.
And your milk is $5, and their vaccine is not fucking $5. Do that.
Like, and it was a big logistical thing to roll this out. And you know what? I'll commend governments. Yeah, it was a little rough getting it rolled out.
I think that's part of the reason why it's mandatory is because it's cost them so much fucking money that if we don't make it mandatory, it's going to fucking sink our boat.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Like, you almost have to justify, like, hey, we had to do this.
Justify is exactly the word you need to get right there,
Yeah.
To justify it.
Okay, I think that was really it. I don't know, let's get the fuck out of here.
I don't know what we talked about today, but yeah.
Yeah, we went all over the place. We
so many
some
things.
Stupid... Oh, fuck. That's why I brought up the weird Canadian laws. So I was saying, the original reason why I brought that up. Yeah. So it was, so I'm just going to say this, and then, you know what, we'll do our closers and get the fuck out. So Laws are I think, like I was saying, they're fluid. They'll only be enforced if society allows it. So if everyone says, hey, you know what, this speed limit is fucking dumb. Like, how many places do you go and, I don't know, speed limits, 110 kilometers. In the States, it's 65 miles per hour. In California, it's 55 for semis. And I see semis going 65, 70 miles per hour. It's what the community thinks is okay. So laws will only be enforced as long as the courts have the support of the community. So if everyone is saying, okay, all this stuff should be mandated, it should be enforced, and it should be enforced harshly, then the government and the courts and the police are going to take that stance. That's the thing. If everyone just said, no, fuck this is stupid. They don't have enough prisons for everyone. Well, they don't have enough police.
I think that's exactly where we are, though, is that there's enough people going, that's why it's mandatory, is because they're scared. They're like, people are going, fuck you, this is bullshit, and you don't get to tell me what I get to do with my body. And enough people, even within their own ranks, like there's police forces quitting, and there's nurses in multiple hospitals that are like, I've been part of the pandemic for fucking 2 years and now I got to get a vaccine or I'm fired. There's a whole bunch of people pushing back.
Remember when
they should be.
Remember when nurses were heroes? They were our
They were already the heroes. They're already there. They're already there. Like 2 years deep in, those were the guys on the front lines. And now you're going to tell them, do it or else, or we're going to fire you. Well, I've already been doing it or else.
Yeah.
And get fucked, you're fired. What?
Well, so there were nurses that were saying, I can't go home because if I ended up contracting COVID, I don't want to give it to the rest of my family. So I've had to actually find different living arrangements, different places, whether it's an apartment or I have to rent out a room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
and now they're on the hook because they know there's a lot of regular people who are just like, this is too much fucking bullshit. And now they're going, well, all of our staff, because you're our staff, we're calling, well, it's our bullshit, and you're going to do it by the end of October, or we're going to find somebody else who will.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. In the middle of a pandemic, when they need the most help, they're going to lay off. Because I can tell you, it's going to be big. It's not going to be like 5%. It's going to be probably 25-30% of the workforce in healthcare is just going to go, you know what, this is
going to walk.
Yes, but that's the thing, though, right? Is because there are so many people out there who have lost their jobs already due to all the closures and stuff that they're going to be like, okay, so now we're going to put your job up on there, and you're going to sit there and look and think, okay, well, all these people have lost their jobs. If all these places aren't open anymore, if I lose my job, where am I going to find a job again? Like, it's another way to coerce people to get the fucking vaccine.
Agreed. It's coercion, 100%. Yeah, do it or lose your financial ability to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Your family, your travel, whatever it is on your agenda. If you don't get the vaccine, no.
Now, to be clear, I just want to say that I think people recommending others to get the vaccine is an okay thing to do. I think that when people stand up and say, I think that you should follow the guidelines of what we're telling you, like we think that you should follow these. Yes, okay, that's perfect. But when you take it as, well, we're asking you to follow the guidelines to now it's mandatory and we are going to force you, that's when I have an issue.
They're not asking, they're telling.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, telling people that the vaccine is safe and showing the research and, trying to...
that doesn't matter at this point. Right fucking now, go get your fucking vaccine, or you don't get to travel, or you don't get to work for at least the Canadian government and supplied contractors. Outside of that, there's other employees that are like, well, if they're fucking doing it, we're doing it too.
Yeah.
So there's regular there's companies that don't aren't required to do it at all, that are like, oh my God, we need to get on this right now. And companies are doing it, which is why the government did that, is because the government legally can't do it. They're passing what's the word I'm looking for? The liability on to the corporate entity.
They're even looking at changing that. They're looking at making corporations immune from litigation if there is an adverse reaction to a vaccination.
It's already there. Corporations have more rights than you and me today, right now, regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
Legally.
I'll reiterate this. It is not my job to tell someone, go get vaccinated. No. Go talk to your doctor. Go seek out the information. Go seek out the information if you're hesitant, if you're anti-vaxxer and dyed in the wool. Find the information to say, hey, what would be my line in the sand? If this could be proven with, maybe not from government, maybe not from, from some news article. If you went to a doctor and this was your line in the sand, and you said, okay, if they can cross that line and they can convince me, I'll do it. Otherwise, you're just protesting for the sake of protesting.
Speaking of lines in the sand, I posted a video to my personal FB account, and you have access to it. But that's exactly it. It's a group of people that went into a mall and ordered food from a food court and sat down in the food court and started to eat. And security officers were like, we need to see your vaccine passports. And they were like, go fuck yourself. We came to your establishment to order food that you advertise for purchase. We're here purchasing it. And now we're sitting down to eat your advertised purchased food in your food court.
Yeah.
You have no legal precedence to kick us out for that. Well, we're going to trespass you. And they're like, are you aware of the trespass laws? You can't trespass us for trespassing is if we're doing something contrary to your business, to blah, 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 yada, yada. But we're not. We're here. We bought the food that you've advertised for us to buy. We're sitting in your prescribed area eating said food, and and they called the police on them. And even the police were like, well, this is a tough situation, which is why I posted the video, because even the police were like, they're legally within their right to fucking sit here and eat the food that you sold them in your food court in the mall, regardless of their vaccination status. That's
well, my understanding, at least with my understanding with trespassing, is any business is considered open to the public for I can't remember the exact legal.
As long as you're conducting business with that said individual in the same way. That's how that worked for them. Is they went to a food court in a mall. And, of course, they're advertising, please eat this food, blah, blah, blah. We have seats available. And they went in there and ordered some food and sat down and started to eat the food, which is when security came up to them and was like, well, do you have valid ID and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, we're just sitting here eating the food that you have displayed for our consumption, and we are paying for it to consume it right here, and you go fuck off.
See, like,
we're trying to eat here.
The argument that everyone makes is, well, if you have nothing to hide, like, so what? Like, people are asking for your medical information. First off, that's a privacy violation. Secondly, if that is no problem to you,
can't ask for it, in fact.
Yeah.
Legally. Legally, you can't even ask for it.
No.
None of your fucking business is the correct response. Go fuck yourself.
But if people are okay with it, then please, everyone, we have a Discord group. Send all your tit pics, all your dick pics into our Discord group. If that is truly how you feel, that, you know what? I have nothing to hide. The government can look at and do whatever they want because I have nothing to hide. Okay.
You see them
then
titties.
please. Yeah. I want to see everyone's tits, everyone's dick. I want to see. Please.
My dick pic will be very disappointing because after my dick pic, you will all stop dick picking because you'll be like, oh my God, I can't do how do I compete with that dick pic? Oh, fuck. Oh my God. Says the pasty redhead white boy with myself.
All right, with that, I've thrown down the gauntlet. Kim, you want to?
You in the face. I take up said. I'm offended. You're offended.
Good.
All right,
Kim, bro.
Kim, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Donavon here, our impromptu guest that we did not plan.
Didn't. You didn't have permission to use my real name.
I think I did previously. I asked you if I could.
That's okay. Yes,
I can edit that out.
You just need to say it super sexy, like.
I'd really like to thank Donavon for joining us today. I look forward to the pics that I'm going to be getting in our Discord. Everybody, thank you for listening.
You know where to
widescreen. You know where to find us. Rumble, YouTube, anywhere you want to listen to your podcast, Anchor, Spotify, our Instagram. We got a Facebook. And again, leave your comments if there's something you want to hear us talk about or want to hear our opinion on. Or if you're interested in even joining us one day, send us a message someplace, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or I'll link the description in the description box. I'll link the Discord in there. So then you can even leave a message if you like, if you want to be on the podcast, because maybe you don't agree with what we're saying. And maybe you want to have a healthy debate and a discussion on our podcast.
FYI, if you don't agree, we would like to hear what you're saying.
Yes,
please.
We do. We're not here to yell at people or get into a big thing, but a nice, healthy debate is always good. Because you know what? If you think you can change our minds, do it. I am all for it.
We're going to yell at you.
If you can't change our minds, though, I want to pick.
All right.
All right, so thank you again, and hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend. And don't forget to tell your people, friends, family, give them a hug, tell them how much you love them and appreciate them, and think about what you're thankful for. Have a great weekend, or whatever. Good night, everyone.
Peace out.
Peace.